Hello everyone, this is Black Woman 7 here, and today I'll be going over the, uh, the competitive or pretty much the viability, the potential of certain recently revealed Galar Pokemon and seeing whether they'll live up to expectations or not. Of course, this is a pretty much speculation video, so I'm just going to be going over what we know based off these guys since not only do we have a general idea what regional variants are, what Alolan forms, with Gen 7, but we also have an idea what to expect as well. So hopefully there's not any more advertisements popping up. But anyways, we'll be going over a couple Pokemon like more specifically the evolutions like Galarian, Weezing, Ponyta, and Rabadash because we already know the Rabadash is confirmed. The Zigzagoon line, Obstagoon, or with like a Linoon is evolving like Obstagoon. So obviously we have Sirfetch and Obstagoon itself. So it's pretty obvious that we've only gotten a few to talk about for this video. So hopefully by the time this is uploaded, we have a good idea what to expect from these guys. So anyways, I'm gonna just hop on to Showdown just to talk about these guys from a generalistic standpoint, just in terms of stats. So one thing to note is that regarding I already have the Alolan forms here, is that their stat BSTs and their stat changes aren't that, they're few to minimal at all. So they're not really like Galarian forms might not like receive like significant stat changes. I think out of all the Alolan forms, the one that changed the most was like I believe Alolan Rattata from regular Rattata. As you can see, like its defenses and even its HP got swapped around. I think every stat got changed around, but even then it was like, it's a Rattata, so it's obviously like, well, some people use it viably, but it's not as strong compared to like where the power creep is. But fortunately, like the with the given like the possible power creep with the dex being like cut off, get Pokemon getting axed, you might see a power creep of legendaries. Think of mons like Landorus and Coco not being, or the Ultra Vs like Kartana, Celestial not being around. So maybe these Pokemon could shine. So that's assuming if they appear in the decks, in the Galar like regional decks. So yeah. Anyways, the point stands that most of these Pokemon don't really change. Even like if they do keep something, it's usually like the same type. Like here, common theme here with Alolan Executor, so grass type. Rattata, normal, Alolan poison, Alolan, Golem, rock, and Alolan Dougie is like what, like ground. So anyways, I kind of want to like just continue on forward, just talk about the viabilities of these Pokemon. So let's talk about Galarian Weezing. So I have here is I guess you could say a set for Weezing as is. Common set you would see maybe in the NU tier. That's pretty much Sludge Bomb, Hit Taunt, Pain Split, and Toxic Spikes. Of course, one of Weezing's best abilities is its traits is that's a very defensive wall. If you ever have you ever used a Rotom? Basically, it's kind of like that. You're able to switch into like maybe like ground type Pokemon. Well, not all of them, but like you're able to switch into ground type hits, just set up, wisp them, or like just go for toxic, just go for taunt, and just chip them down in general. So, and yeah, just be really annoying. This thing also, as I mentioned, it has access to Will-O-Wisp, so I'm just covering it from its base form, and it has a very good assortment of special attacking options if you think about it, or as you see. It has access. I know Sapcan is from like the GSC games. It has access to like Fire Blast, Thunder, like Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, even Psybeam from like King of Egg move. So like Weezing's a very like it already has like a good special move pool to abuse this from, and now that you're adding a fairy typing into it, this guy with Galarian Weezing, you're getting probably one of the a very strong like like I don't know um you're getting a very strong like especially bulky fairy if you think about it. And so let me just illustrate the point by just going to this site here. So this is a Pokemon Help but type calculator. We're going for this like to just illustrate the point here. This is a Galarian Weezing. So I picked Poison and Fairy. Obviously it doesn't matter either way. So its weaknesses are Ground, Steel, and Psychic. And these are its neutrality, or its the Pokemon typings that are like they'll hit it like neutrally. And then you have here are its resistances, and having a quad resist to like fighting, and also an immunity to dragon is huge, as well as the resistance to fairy and dark as well. I mean grass and bug. I mean grass is always like resistant to something, so the same with bug. So, but these typings alone is just amazing, and not only that, you have levitate, so you could make a ground as a resist as a not a resist, but as an immunity as well, if you choose to run the levitate ability. So, of course, there is the topic of its ability, and that is neutralizing gas. And let me see if it has it here. And neutralizing gas, apparently, no, it doesn't have it, but I don't think it has it on the Pokemon site as well. So I don't even want to look it up still. But neutralizing gas has been a very kind of interesting topic of discussion in most of the competitive Pokemon like forums, or basically Discord or some people groups. Because the thing is, neutralizing gas has a very interesting effect, and it's almost similar to that of Mold Breaker, in the sense that like you're pretty much disabling or deactivating everyone's abilities on the field, not just in singles but also in doubles. This has major ramifications if you think about it. So, and this only time will tell whether or not Galarian Weezing's neutralizing gas can actually affect, like, what abilities can it affect per se. You know, if like stuff like Shedinja, Aegislash, like I don't know if it'll affect those Pokemon, because you know those are like, you know, some abilities have some sort of tiering or a priority in a sense. You know, like when you're using moves like, you know, skill swap or was that a one? Worry Seed. But here's pretty much the idea is that you're pretty much like taking away something that would like give a Pokemon its like a good like part of its like strengths. You know, think of it like, let's say if you're going like up against like a Fable, and it has Magic Guard, and you just switch into Galarian Weezing, and you just Toxic it. Now it's gonna get chipped down even more, or even better. And there's a fun fact, by the way. Let's say if Clefable is toxic and it starts going for Calm Mind, at any point, if you switch into Galarian Weezing, you pretty much like remove like the Pokemon. Like it'll start taking damage, and this thing still has access to, I believe, like Clear Smog as well. So you can remove the stat changes, and because of how Magic Guard works, it'll still like it actually keeps counting down. So, Clefable could just take a huge chunk of HP down, which is like hilarious if you think about it. So because Magic Guard just prevents the Pokemon from like taking damage, it doesn't stop the actual toxic counter. It just keeps going. So that's a little fun fact if you guys want to know. So, but this is not just that application, but like being able to like probably hit better example would be like being able to wall stuff like Azumarill, being able to like because you know they relies on huge power. You can't be trapped by you know, Gothitelle or Dugtrio with their like respective trapping abilities. You could just switch out. Like that's all you could do. You could just switch out. Or even like it could even possibly affect Regenerator or like weather setters. So you could just hit T-Tar with a Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, assuming if it gets one or the other. But if it gets Moonblast, man, this thing is gonna be a monster to deal with just from its defensive side. And its Spadef, of course, it's very slow. It's very low, but if it gets like, if anything, I hope Game Freak just it decreases like the attack because it really just needs a special defense increase. That's it. Like maybe to like 80 or 90. If it gets 90, that would be like really dumb though. But yeah, that's pretty much my big hope for Galarian Weezing, being able to have Moonblast. And oh yeah, it has Flamethrower. Like Fire Fairy coverage, it's nothing to laugh at as well at all. Us, just it hits pretty much everything except for like maybe Heatran. Then again, Heatran's gonna be gone likely. So yeah, Galarian Weezing might actually have a place in whatever metagame it's gonna fall in, whether it's gonna be singles or doubles. Now, next Pokemon I want to talk about is Linoon, Galarian Linoon, and also Obstagoon. So, now the reason why I have Ursaring right here is because this is probably the closest closest Pokemon we have to comparing it. You know, but as we know, like Linoon has access to Belly Drum, E-Speed, and I believe. Let me see. Let me see something. Alright, so I had to pause the video because I wanted to look through something really quick. So here's Linoon's egg moves, and basically here are like the the moves it could learn via egg moves. It could learn just by the way, this is just regular. It learns Pursuit since it gains that dark typing, it's pretty strong on this guy, and of course has Helping Hand. That'd be good for doubles. It has Simple Beam, which is pretty interesting. However, the big one that I would like to talk about is Extreme Speed, because Linoon can actually be pretty strong. Assuming this keeps the egg move, assuming this guy keeps its E-Speed like egg move, it's likely able to breed with like a Lucario or an Arcanine. So you already have potentially have access to. Like with Obstagoon, it already has access to something that's pretty scary, a Guts boosted E-Speed. And I'm gonna say Guts is probably gonna be the better ability on this guy. Not Gluttony, assuming if it keeps it. I don't think it does, like as like, you know, a hidden ability. But if like Obstagoon ever gets E-Speed, that's something you guys gotta watch out for. So because as is, Belly Drum Linoon is very capable in like, you know, more dedicated like hyper offense teams. However, the thing is that's holding it back is the lack of a strong stab move. However, with its evolution, and by the way, this is Ursaring, by the way, just to illustrate the point. And also by the way, look at like Linoon, like its regular stats. It already has okay like HP. Its attack stats very low. And its speed stats pretty high already, and they can do whatever they want here. Because let me see, what's the actual BST? That's 420. Oh, that's nice right there. Like basically, if this guy gets like plus 80 BST, he'll probably have like somewhere around 110, 120 attack. Like with this guy, this is assuming with Obstagoon. Assuming like it has that intimidating look, and basically it looks like very physical. So like it looks like ferocious looking. So I'm assuming it can like it will just try to like be based off of, you know, physical attacks and whatnot. So maybe having a very high attack stat to just back that up. So okay. Anyways, going back to this discussion, the reason why I brought up Ursaring is because this thing is probably one of the few Pokemon that has access to like well, I don't know if like, this is like one of the few Pokemon with normal type Guts. Well, number typing plus Guts, like Stab, Facade, because that alone could be pretty devastating. I think the other Pokemon I believe is Swellow. Swellow, yeah, that's the other Pokemon. Like, let me see, what are other Guts Pokemon are there? There's also Rattata and as well as I believe in Calder. So you have Swellow with the and basically if you think about it, where I'm going with this, like Obstagoon could be a very strong wall breaker with cleaning potential. So like if you give this thing a Flame Orb with like already good speed and you have extreme speed, all you this thing needs is like a very strong physical like ground or like fighting move like Brick Break or Earthquake. It just needs one of the two. Of course, Earth Shooting can learn like close combat, so but if you think about it, like Guts Boosted Facade is just something that you're not gonna switch into at all. Like especially with normal stat, I don't think very few Pokemon will switch into that very well, except for maybe this guy, because you know neutralizing gas will make it like, well I don't know, like even Galarian Reason will get chunked. The way like you know, it'll still like Facade will still like hit just as normally, but just you know, it won't suffer the attack like boost or something, but it won't have like the guts boost, you know. So moving on, I'm kind of expecting a, like Obstagoon to be more of a like a wall breaker slash cleaner. So yeah. So basically, think of this guy having something like this as its move pool being like a wall breaker set, and it's just gonna be like deadly to face off against if you think about it. So, and also it has access to dark type stab. So if it gets close, like a good like normal plus like a foot like a good normal like already has like good normal stats with facade and return and e-speed, possibly with you know, and if you give it knockoff or like I think it has Night Slash from like the trailer, or it said yeah it has Night Slash right here, and also taunt, so it could already like learn taunt and double edge. So that's also if you want to use Reckless, but I think Guts is gonna be the better ability. So have a status absorber. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I have for Obstagoon. Like just don't let this thing set up with a belly drum and you'll be fine. So next up is Farfetch, which honestly I really don't know where they could go with this guy. Of course it has the access to like some interesting moves like Drain Punch, like Knockoff, Bulk Up, and Roost. These are some like no, it doesn't have access to this. Drain Punch. My apologies. It does have access to Brave Bird, so you could use like fighting and plus blind coverage if you want to use that, or even knockoff as well. So, anyways, let me go search up Farfetch. I don't know why Google search does that. Like, you know, it keeps up my thing. So let's see. I know this is just you know, let's just keep going faster. So it does have access to knockoff via Learn Up and Brave Bird and Poison Jab. So and has access to Sword Stance, Night Slash. So since this guy evolved, since Farfetch evolves from a Farfetch, it has access to these moves. So that's pretty good. And let's see, what egg moves do you guys learn? It has Curse, so if it's and Leaf Blade, Night Slash, also Revenge. So if like let's say if Surfetch ever gets like hit before prior, it could just do double damage. You also have access to Simple Beam if you're that guy. I'm looking at you, Wolfie. And lastly, you have First Impression to hit like Psychic and Bug type Pokemon. So yeah, pretty much. I'm not so sure where they would go with this guy, because like it'll probably need a substantial like stat increases just to like be viable, and even then, you're probably not gonna want to stick. Maybe it could be a good AV user, like something like a good Assault Vest user. I wonder if we could use a Violite. That's something we gotta figure it out. In the meantime, a Violite Farfetch could be very powerful. I don't know. That's something, especially with Roost. If Violite Farfetch with Roost, Defiant, sign me up. So, but anyways, does have access to that new move that's basically like fighting type Hyper Beam or Giga Impact. So hopefully we'll see what that thing can do. So all right, so last Pokemon we have is Galarian Rabadash or Ponyta, which I think it just got shafted pretty hard. Not gonna lie. I think that one of the biggest problems with Galarian Rabadash is the fact that it probably needs like it probably wants its stats to be like changed like all around because thing is historically speaking like the only good physical like psychic Pokemon have been mons like Medicham like and Gallade. Those are like the ones I could think of that are like strong physical. Oh yeah, also the Metagross as well. But even then, Metagross doesn't really use Psychic until like recently, Gen 7 as his preferred stab. So I'm not so sure what they could do with this like Galarian Ponyta or Rapidash. Like all we know that it has an ability where it just prevents itself from getting poisoned or and also heals like the Pokemon itself. Like its ally, so it has that going for itself. As you saw, it's probably gonna rely on like if you're gonna run it like Galarian Rabadash, hopefully it gets access to Calm Mind and maybe Morning Sun, so at least you could like set up Calm Minds and whatnot. So, but even then, it's just like I feel like Game Freak's like this is the one Pokemon we just don't know enough about, and there's been a lot of rumors saying that Galarian Rabadash is gonna likely evolve into some weird Alicorn Pegasus thing. Even then, like I don't even know whether or not that's gonna be viable. So I think that's all I have for all these guys. So I've had to rate all these Pokemon. I have to say, probably Obstagoon will probably be like the most viable, or Galarian Weezing. I think these two will definitely be like the better options in the upcoming like formats or Gen 8 formats. Surfetch, I don't think we have enough information to go on. Outside it, it has good learn up moves pool. It has a good learn up move pool, so does have access to knockoff, does have access to Leaf Blade, and some interesting setup options as well with Sword Sand. So maybe if it gets faster, it could rely on flying, fighting, and dark coverage. That alone could actually hit everything. So thinking of Halucha right now. So then Galarian Rabadash just kind of got shafted. So alright, so that's my breakdown of these Pokemon. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for another topic video.